perfect after being kicked off again. What's up, everybody? I don't know why my internet's being like that, but we're gonna probably do some checks before tonight's stream because OBS has kicked me off twice. But we are live. It is Mark Talk, and this is basically just going to be set up for this perfectly. So, all right. So we're gonna unload a couple of things. We got a couple of sports. We got sports talk. We've got wrestling talk. We're gonna dive right into wrestling just to kick it off. We're gonna talk about Impact because I did watch Impact last night, and it was a title match. You had some title clarifications. We've had the classic Who Done It, and then all this stuff coming together at once. And this we'll start from the beginning and work our way down. The Impact kicked off with a triple threat match between Michael Elgin, Ken Shamrock, and Sami Callihan. I will tell you, I'm not gonna lie to you, I am not a fan of 2 out of the 3 people in this match. Not really like, oh my god, I'm just like not interested in 2 of the 3 people. Michael Elgin, I can literally live, or I can just live without that. I don't need that at all. Ken Shamrock, good lord. Ken Shamrock looks like he's been through a million fights. Yes, Father Time is undefeated, and he is beating down Ken Shamrock. And you could see it on him. I really am not a fan of him still going at it. I wasn't a fan of Ric Flair going at it late down the line. I was like, it's no. Or Hulk Hogan going down the line. I was not a fan of seeing them. Sometimes you just gotta just accept Father Time. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. So then Sami Callihan has this hacker gimmick, and you know what? Go for it. I don't know. I need to figure out the bigger picture on it, but right now I'm like, go for it. Do what you gotta do. I'm hoping you win out of all of these 3, but he did not get the win. Elgin gets the pin fall on Shamrock, and I completely hope to not see that again. Like, don't get me wrong, Ken Shamrock at one point was the most dangerous man in the world. Like, the guy was lethal, and he still got some hands. But I don't need to see that anymore. We're good. We don't need it. It's not necessary. We thank you for what you've done, and maybe you should be the guy that's training the next beatdown, killer and whatnot. So that happened. We're gonna keep moving past. The next match on the card was Tasha Steelz versus Susie. Interested in this one for the simple fact that Tasha Steelz is basically new to Impact, and I'm trying to gain that understanding of her. She's got Kiera Hogan with her. Still trying to figure out that dynamic as well. Susie's there. Big fan of Susie because of what Su Yung has been able to do to completely transform. It's one of those things where I feel like with Impact, they love to do the opposite personality move. They did it with Joseph Park and Abyss, and they've done it with other people in the past as well. But it's always nice to see, and to see what Su Yung has done completely with what's it? Mainly because it's a complete difference from what she has been. Susie it's fun to watch. She's so wholesome and nice, and Su Yung has been like, killer. So it was good to see, but you knew Kiera Hogan was going to be out there. She caused a distraction. Susie, obviously so wholesome, follows the distraction, gets a cutter from Tasha, and Tasha gets the pinfall. It's okay. It was a good match. It was all right. It's they're building new rivalries, new stars into there, and they got a whole new setup because obviously with the Knockouts champion back on the show, you've got to start building new title contenders and stuff like that. So I know Tasha Steele and Kiera Hogan were confronted by Havoc and I forget the other girl's name now at the moment, but so it's going to be a lot of different pieces, a lot of different feuds, a lot of new feuds. You got new beefs going down, so it'll be interesting. The interesting part after this was the flashback moment of the week featured Mike Bennett, Maria Kanellis, EC3, and Tyrus. Now they've been teasing a lot of former WWE superstars that were released during the pandemic would be making their return to Impact, and they showed a lot. They teased a lot of different names, so we already know Spud's not going back because he re-signed with NXT. But it's interesting to see who they might bring back, and I think it's very interesting that they use this flashback moment to feature a bunch of them just to further that tease going. Speaking of tease, right after that, Rhino teases that Heath Slater could possibly be making the jump to Impact in a backstage segment before he got into a fight. So, interesting. Let's see. Johnny Swinger and Chris Bay versus Cousin Jake and Willie Mack. Cousin Jake is part of the Deaners group. Forget the other Deaner. The other Deaner did come back tonight after Mac and Cousin Jake got the win with a stunner on Swinger. Swinger and Bay decided to attack them after the match. So yeah, the other Deaner came and they returned. They're back together. Deaners are back in the building. Because, you know, one of the Deaners is in Canada, the other Deaner is, it's all over the place. But the Deaners are going to be hopefully back together. Willie Mack still has Chris Bay chomping at the bits of his X Division title. And then after that, you had the world title announcement. Scott D'Amore came out there. He's one of the executives, and he's giving the speech about how Tessa Blanchard, the TNA World Champion, has not been available to defend her title, and it's been about 2 months. So they held a tournament to determine a number one contender, but you also had Michael Elgin, who did not get his match at his scheduled title match before this tournament started. You had these two guys both out there pleading their cases. Then you had Eddie Edwards out there pleading his case because he was also in that Elgin match that was supposed to be a title match, and it didn't happen. So he was out there, and then Scott D'Amore tells them that it's going to be a fatal 5-way match with Tessa, Edwards, Elgin, Austin. Austin says there's only 4 of us here. The other person ends up being Trey, who was viciously beaten before his match with Austin for the number one contendership match last week. So now he is getting his opportunity to even get a shot at the title. So a fatal 5-way at Slammiversary for the Impact World Championship. That's going to be interesting to see. You got a lot of pieces. You got high flyers from the X Division. You got Edwards, who has been pretty much a staple for Impact in this new generation. Elgin, the powerhouse, and you got Tessa, who's apparently the heart of the new heart of the company, so, and the new face of the company. So it'll be an interesting mashup of a lot of different pieces. You got good guys, you got bad guys, you got Austin, who is completely creepy at times. You got it all. After that, you had Cancel Culture show up, and they give the introduction of Jacob Crisp, who turned on his brother in OVE last week to join Cancel Culture, and he's out there with RVD and Katie Forbes and Joseph Ryan. Jacob Crisp takes on Crazy Steve, and match ends with Ryan distracting Crazy Steve, and Chris hits him with the barrages of kicks that I'm not gonna lie, that was way better than a roll up. Like, the one thing I think we hate the most in wrestling is the distraction roll up for the win. So Crazy Steve gets distracted, and then Chris hits him with the most precise variety of kicks that I have seen in a long time. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he knocked him out cold and got the pinfall. And I was like, all right, you know what? I can't even be mad about that. I'm not too sold on cancel culture because of some of the people in it. But I was like, you know what? That kick, that ending, the kick barrage, I was all for that. Sold. So that was good. Good little match too. Nice little X Division contest that's going on right there. And then after that, you had the main event for the Knockouts Championship. You had Jordynne Grace versus Taya Valkyrie. This was supposed to go down before. Of course, it got postponed because of the, people were in quarantine and lockdown. So, hard-hitting match. You got, what's the guy's name? I forget his name. The guy's out there. But you also had Rosemary out there. And there's a lot of different pieces that could be very problematic for Jordynne Grace, who's out there solo dolo, but she's a powerhouse and an all-around beast. Super happy to see that she is back in Impact and being able to do her thing in the ring. Taya always still doing her thing. She's one of the tops in the business, and she can do it with furry boots on. I think that is amazing. Every time I see them, I'm like, yo, them boots. I see the boots every time. Like, those boots are fuzzy, but dope. So, it's awesome to see. I'm happy to see that they were able to get a chance to go out there and kick some butt. And Jordynne Grace got the win. Like, it was a hard fought match, and it could have went back and forth. It could have been anyone's match there. Jordynne Grace gets the win because, of course, Taya is a formidable opponent. She's not a scrub. She's not a bum, so it was going to be close. So, Jordynne Grace gets the win. She's celebrating in the ring, and all of a sudden, Deonna Purrazzo, who they've been teasing throughout the show, when she drove into the car, she drove up to the arena. They had her in the locker room. She wasn't in the locker room. They didn't see her. They didn't know where she was. She shows up to the ring at the end of this match. Deonna Purrazzo looking amazing as always. Looking amazing. Looking very energized. Heard there's a crazy cooking stream going on. Lord Kaiba, what's going on? Okay, she shows up. Deonna Purrazzo shows up, confronts Jordynne Grace. She actually puts her in the armbar submission and lets her know she's coming for that gold. That was Impact. Impact overall was okay. It was good. You got some new matchups. Everything's pretty much basically going to start building for Slammiversary and teasing who might actually show up, because apparently after Slammiversary, where Slammiversary hits, I believe they're most of the contracted WWE stars are free agents. So we'll see how that goes, unless they re-sign. So who knows? You never know who might show up at Impact, and they might even show up for just one day. You never know. So, Lloyd Kaiba was good. Everything is good, man. I can't complain. I'm sitting here wrapping up. This is the final 15 minutes of the show. Then I take a little break, and then I come back in about 3 hours. Do it again. Hope you're having a great day, man. I hope you are happy, healthy, and safe as usual. As every day, I hope everybody's doing that. Let's see. Wrestling wise, New Japan Cup. New Japan announced they were returning next week. They are kicking off their New Japan Cup next week as well. They're going to start off with no fans, and then of course they're going to have fans eventually coming in. I'm super excited for that. Or they start operations next week, but they're going to start doing a lot of stuff. Nice. So I'm looking forward to that. New Japan Cup is a staple. And I saw the list. I posted the list of the competitors on my Instagram story. You can check that out, I think, for the next couple of hours. I think it'll be gone in a couple hours from now, so go check out my Instagram story. at Marcus Alford. Bam! Plug. I'm glad you're feeling better, Lord Kaiba. I know those feelings, rolling out of bed, feeling like terribleness, and bless it. I'm glad it got better for you. Hoping it keeps progressing. And I know for a fact I was sick a couple weeks ago, and it sucks. I'm never a fan of being sick. I never handle it well. So I trust me. I know the feeling. I guess the main story for sports wise today was Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush has been they've ended the disassociation of Reggie Bush from USC today because it's been 10 years. It's been a long road, and I know that a lot of USC people, I know Reggie Bush is probably happy. I know a lot of fans are going to be happy about that. It was an unfortunate situation. It also shines a light on college athletes and how they were punished and how bad the business overall about college sports and collegiate athletes are, and how the system is very, very messed up. Give it a little backstory. Reggie Bush was a 5-star recruit, joins the USC, and apparently he had agents. He's had assistant coaches and people that were, taking care of him and the family while he was there playing for USC and being a Heisman Trophy winner and doing an amazing college career. They even won the Orange Bowl with him. They had a little team of Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush. They were all over the place. They were household names. And behind the scenes, Reggie Bush was collecting a lot of money, cars. His family was given a home that they would be able to live in rent-free for a year. They were getting a lot of benefits, and that's very illegal in college sports. You're not supposed to be getting any type of compensation, and Reggie Bush and his family were receiving a lot of compensation. So eventually the agent that was giving Reggie Bush and his family all this money sued them for some of that money to come back, because I'm assuming they had a deal in place, and I'm assuming Reggie Bush or his family did not hold up their end of the bargain toward down the line when he eventually got money and his contracts and deals and stuff when he became a pro. So he was sued, and which ended up shining a light on a lot of college players, especially at USC, including was that OJ Mayo was in there, and this agent cooperated with the NCAA to then turn on the USC program and shined a massive light on the compensation that players were getting, or families of players were getting. USC got hit with a lot of sanctions. They lost 30 scholarships. They were banned from bowl tournaments for 2 years, which is a lot of money. Being in a bowl is a lot of money that goes back to the team, or the school. So that's a big hit as well. Reggie Bush Reggie Bush forfeited, not vacated, but he forfeited his Heisman Trophy. The USC returned their copy of the Heisman Trophy that they were given for Reggie Bush. They lost their bowl tournament, or they lost their bowl championship in 2004. Their 2005 games were all vacated, and they had a lot of other sanctions and fines and penalties that were in place too. But the major one was because of Reggie Bush. He was banned from USC for 10 years. Complete disassociation. You could not do much of anything. Reggie Bush had to ask to be allowed to cover a USC game for Fox Sports in September. Like it's massive. It was a massive black eye on the sport, on the college thing, but it was also an eye-opening moment for a lot of college sports, because it's not something new. The college sports has been paying a lot of high level recruits to go to their school and play for them. So this is nothing new. This was all the time. They were getting a lot of money, a lot of compensation. But you have now seen people who have been compensating now turning their backs because they have not received that return on their investment on certain players. So now they're outing them, they're turning on the school, especially when the school turns their back on them, and it gets messy. But Call of Duty Season 4 goes live, or Modern Warfare Season 4 goes live tonight. That's what's up. So Reggie Bush is now being able to be welcomed back at USC. It's going to be nice. That first time that they have a game with all their fans and everything in attendance, and he'll be able to get a shout out and be able to be at on the sidelines and get their ovation. That'll be really nice to see. So that's awesome. Trying to think. Oh, boxing news. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury have agreed to a 2-fight deal for 2021. Fury and Wilder hasn't happened yet, but apparently it's going to happen soon. I'm just never a fan of how this went about because they have been I don't know. It's just they've been. I don't like how boxing is. I don't like how boxing is regulated. I've been very vocal about that for many years. I feel like Wilder versus Joshua should have happened a long time ago. Joshua dived and ran away from it as much as he could until it was, now we need a deal. We want that deal after he lost to Ruiz. And Wilder was like, you're not that important anymore. I don't care. So he took Fury on. Fury ends up getting the win. Now all of a sudden it's, we knew Wilder was trash. That's why we didn't want to fight with him. And now he's like, we want Fury. Anthony Joshua seems like the worst bandwagon jumper I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, I hope Fury beats him twice. But I don't like how corrupt this business is. If you're the best fighter in the world, you should be fighting the best fighters. You should not be picking and choosing who might be better for you and your long-term career and everything like that, because it's just protecting your brand. Like, no, we want to see the best fighters, have the best fighters, put the super fight go and let it go. And if you're the better fighter, you'll win. Joshua was picking bombs and then calling out other people who said saying that they were the best fighters in the world. Like, he was saying he was the best. Like, come on, man. No. Just trash. I don't care for it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna be a fan of it. I'm gonna be rooting for Fury. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just want to see how this Fury Wilder 3 ends. Because I mean, I hope Wilder does better than what he did in Fury Wilder 2. But we'll see. Joel Embiid is ramping up training. He's been working out 6 times a week, preparing for the NBA restart. That is dope. That is good to hear, because everybody is always talking about Embiid's consistency. They're always talking about his seriousness when playing basketball and his conditioning and all that stuff. So hopefully he shows up in the best shape and he plays dominant basketball when they restart the league. So that is awesome to hear that Embiid is out there working out. Multiple team executives believe the preseason could be shortened to 2 games. Makes sense. I mean, before it was like, the fans love these, they're good for the fans, but if you're not gonna have a lot of fans there, what's the point? You're gonna injure players for no reason at that point. CBA revises training camp rules and make reporting dates more uniform. Trying to think of anything else. Mm, 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 mm. I think we got basically MLS reveals the official details of the return. They resume July 8th with a massive tournament at Walt Disney World Resort. 54 game tournament happened at Walt Disney World. That's good to see. Michael Jordan reels in 442-pound marlin on his while at a Big Rock fishing tournament on his boat, Catch 23. Nice. So that's pretty dope. All right, so we are now at we're nearing the 1 o'clock mark and we're wrapping up the show, and I truly appreciate everybody that has came through and hung out. We've had a couple of connection issues. I don't know why, but I'm going to restart everything before our 4 o'clock show. We're going to have a couple of changes to tomorrow's stream. We will probably not do the morning show. We'll just go into the afternoon. If anything, we might end up having to tape the morning show and figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll make it work either way. Yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope you guys stay happy, healthy, safe, and I will see you guys later today for Warzone. 4 o'clock. You know I love me some plunder matches, so we're definitely gonna do a lot of plunder and have some fun. But this Mark Talk is over. I think I got everything. We caught an Abra. Sweet. Couple of restarts, which I'm super weirded out by, but we're gonna work that out. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If I don't see you, shout out to everybody that's watching this on YouTube. Appreciate you guys too. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And we will be back later today for peace out.